Excited about our next guest here on GKW as we welcome in a Wrestling Hall of Famer, Jake the Snake Roberts, going to be part of StarCast coming up in Chicago, September 1st through the 3rd. So you've been involved with AEW. You've been a manager. What has that meant to you to kind of get back into things with the role you've had in AEW over the last couple of years?
Well, it's meant so much to me, being gone for so long and not being able to get out there, and then AEW gives me an opportunity, and they've kept me around. They like what I do, and whether it's in the ring or out of the ring or helping the guys work on promos, whatever it is, I don't mind doing it. I enjoy doing it. It's my it's what I should be doing, teaching.
For you, we hear a lot about the AEW locker room, and it's a new locker room because the company's so new. How does it compare to any locker room you've been a part of in your careers past?
It's completely different. It's completely different. There's a lot of guys that want to be by themselves, and I get it. And they're by themselves. So if that's what you dig, do it.
So when you're around that locker room, you said you want to be teaching, and that's what you've been. Who have some of the guys or gals in the AEW locker room that you've really connected with to try to pass on the knowledge that you have?
Lance Archer, number one. There's been a lot of guys. I'm not going to lay all their names out there. It might embarrass them.
Well, okay. So it's a great stopping point to talk about Lance Archer because, Jake, as someone that's watched him in New Japan and AEW, I feel like there's a disconnect. The guy's got everything. Why can't he be a bigger star on that stage in AEW?
I don't know. They just don't like the flavor, I guess. It's a shame because Lance, like you said, he's got everything. And I've helped him work on his promos, and he's raised those up. So I don't know what else he needs to do, but I can't figure it out.
Yeah, it's not about wins and losses for me. It's just about you see a guy that's a monster, actually the Monster Hawk, and he can be able to do everything in the ring. He does what little guys can do, what big guys can do. He's so versatile, but yet here's a guy that is a favorite of mine, but he just can't seem to break through the glass ceiling. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Maybe I'm not supposed to get it, but it's very frustrating for us because we're hungry to go to the next level.
How crazy is it for you to watch a guy like him? Because when you were in the ring, a guy his size wrestled a certain style. And now, like Jay Hood said, he's doing what some of the little guys are doing. How crazy is that for you to watch up close and personal?
Oh, I want to choke him sometimes. Quit doing that shit. Let the little guys do that shit. But he does it, man.
Is that just kind of that's kind of the way it is? I mean, I think it's almost like I think Brock Lesnar. I think of when he first burst onto the scene, as big as he was, and he was doing shooting star presses, and that kind of put some pressure on big guys to do that. So would you rather see kind of professional wrestling get back to, okay, let the little guys do that, let the big guys be monsters, or do you think it's too far gone where almost everybody has to wrestle that high flying style in 2023?
I don't think everybody has to do it. I think you can still go out there in the ring and grab a hold, but that's just me. I know that if I went out there, I know exactly what I would do. I would wrestle because they're not seeing a whole lot of that.
Jake, to your experience as someone that watched a lot of wrestling in the territories, when wrestling was at its best from a booking standpoint, when was it at its best for you in your career?
In the 80s.
Is that Mid-South? Is that WWF? What did you prefer best for you? Was it world class?
No, definitely not world class. Hell no.
Wait a minute. I mean, those vignettes you did in the red pants, you were there in junkyards. I mean, you told a great story in world class.
Yeah. But God, he didn't make me no money.
There you go.
That's true. Yeah.
From a money making.
His last name wasn't Von Erich or one of the Freebirds, so I guess it wasn't going to happen.
That's right. I remember whenever I gave my notice there, I went in and said, "Hey guys, I'm going to have to move on." And they're like, "Why are you moving on? You just got here." I said, well, I didn't bring enough money to stay.
You have been all over this world. What is the best road city for you in your career? What cities did you love the most to go to?
Probably Chicago.
Is that still true today? Because AEW is more or less, it's the unofficial home of AEW. Like Chicago is the place that they continue to go to because it seems like the fans can't get enough of professional wrestling in Chicago.
Yeah, it's their hotbed for wrestling, man. And Chicago's got it by the short hairs.
Speaking of those times, who was someone, obviously you talk about fans sharing stories about their favorite memories, and we all have our favorite Robert memories. Who were some of the guys that you most enjoyed working with, whether it be a one-off or just long-term storytelling?
Well, I enjoyed working with Mr. Perfect. And there was only a few matches of those. But I enjoyed working with Steamboat immensely. And that was it was a class act, man. And we just went out there and did it. And that was probably some of my better stuff. And of course, Macho Man, even though he was crazy, but that's just part of it.
Jake, one of the things that we talk about a lot is, for us as wrestling fans, hey, I don't need to see you give me a barn burner or a classic every Wednesday night or every Saturday night. Talk me into the building. I'll give you my money if you talk me into the building. How much is promos more valuable than the actual in-ring product?
I think promos is way up there, bro. I think it's very important. I know that when you don't have somebody doing the great promos, I know that we lack. But there's some guys that can do some great promos now, whether it's MJF or Jericho or there's several other guys too. My mind doesn't work quick, guys.
Who are the best promos of all time? If you had to put together a quick list, best promo of all time.
Dusty.
Do you have a second?
Yeah.
After that, after Dusty?
Yeah, me.
There we go.
Yes.
I was just wondering. I'm where are you putting yourself on this list?
I wanted to put it number 1, but I didn't.
Wow. Hey, bashful Jake Roberts. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that at all. Well, we're looking forward to StarCast, aren't we, bro? We're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to AEW because they're going to take over Chicago. I mean, it's a home away from home, that's for sure.
Yeah, very much. I think, we're going to be there on site. Looking forward to seeing everyone come together the way you talk about it. And, with AEW, what is the one thing, like if you were in charge, say, hey, this is what we need to do to take that next step as the company continues to grow?
House shows. Get string some house shows together. You got plenty of talent to do it. A lot of guys sitting at home. They should string some house shows together, man. Put some guys on the road. Let them learn.
And here's something that you've never been asked before. So we know how light the schedule is these days across the wrestling landscape. Would you prefer this schedule or just to stay busy and stay on the road?
I like staying on the road, man.
Yeah.
I like being busy.
Yeah.
These one-offs don't feed the hunger.
Makes plenty of sense, Jake. And we certainly appreciate the time. Can't wait to see you in Chicago. I know everyone in Chicago is going to show out. I'm sure you're going to have a great time. Again, September 1st to the 3rd, StarCast happening in Chicago. Go to starcast.com for more information. Jake the Snake Roberts, we appreciate the time.